Hi, welcome to Megan's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making scalloped potatoes, which is basically thinly sliced potatoes baked with milk and seasoning. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to preheat your oven to 425. And you should have a cup of milk sitting by to be boiled later. After you preheat your oven, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to slice your potatoes. So you're going to slice them with a slicer that's kind of like this. And then you can either cut them with your knife, or you can slice them with a thing that looks like this. It can be found on a cheese grater also. So right after you slice them, you're going to put them in a basin of cold water to remove any floury substance, and you're just kind of going to mix them around with your hands. So after you have your potatoes sliced and they're sitting in the basin of cold water, you're going to take a cut clove of garlic, and you're just going to rub it all inside your cooking dish to give it some flavor. And after you've rubbed it on the bottom of the dish, you're going to take a teaspoon of butter and you're going to rub that all over too. So after you have your butter and your garlic smeared in the pan here, you're going to come over and you're going to take your potatoes that are in the basin of cold water, and you're just going to put them in a drainer that has a pan beneath it to catch the water. After you put your potatoes into the drainer, you're going to take some paper towels and just kind of blot them so that they dry off. Because if you don't, the potatoes are going to steam, and then they're not going to cook correctly. After you dried your potato off, you're going to take half of them and you're just going to spread them on the bottom of your pan. And you don't want it to be too thick of a coating, you just kind of want it to cover the bottom. And you only want to use about half of the potatoes that you have. After you put half of your potatoes on the bottom, you're going to put about 2 tablespoons of butter, just kind of spread out amongst them into small little pieces so that you don't get chunks of butter in one bite and then nothing in another bite. So this is what it should look like after you have your first layer of potatoes and your first layer of butter, salt, and pepper. So next you're going to take your remaining potatoes and you're just going to spread them over what you already have. So you're creating a second layer of potatoes. And if you need to dry them off a little bit, feel free to do that. So this is what it looks like after you put your salt, pepper, garlic powder, and about 4 tablespoons of butter on top. As you can see, it's just little chunks of butter on top because they're going to melt and spread around. Okay, so next, here I have 1 cup of milk and a pan that's heating up. So I'm going to take the 1 cup of milk and I'm going to pour it into the pan. Now the thing about boiling milk is that milk will change very quickly from liquid to just evaporating. So you want to take it to just a boil. You don't want to take it too much. So here you can see that our milk is just about boiling. And the reason that we used about 6 tablespoons of butter in this recipe is because we're only using milk. So you can use more butter. So we're going to take this milk, turn off the heat, and we're going to come over to our potatoes and just very carefully pour it over. So after you've done that, you want to set that aside. And you want to take your gloves in the oven that is preheated to 425. So after you've baked your potatoes in the oven at 425 for about 20 to 30 minutes, you basically want to wait until you see that your potatoes are golden brown. You're going to take them out very carefully. And you can just see that it's still bubbling, and all around the edges and at the tops it's all golden brown. So it can be put in an oven about 300 degrees for an hour if you're going to serve it soon. But if you're going to do anything other than that, you should just wait until it cools, put some foil over it, and put it in the fridge.